Hindalco was made absolutely in a right manner, and it was a fair decision, and there is no case for attributing any conspiracy or malafide in this case.
Let me tell you, sir, what is being put out by CBI sources. What we learn from the CBI is that they are holding you guilty of overturning the recommendation of the screening committee, which actually had first decided to award this Talabir coal block that we're talking about in Odisha to Neyveli lignite field. And it was you, according to the CBI, who used this position to ensure that that decision was overturned and ultimately it was given to Hindalco. How do you respond to that, sir?
Yes, and Talabira 2, there were two applicants. Hindalco was one applicant and Neyveli lignite was another applicant. Both of them were equally eligible and competent in terms of technology and financial resources. Hindalco was the first applicant who had applied as long back as 1996, and Neyveli applied later on. In the screening committee, of which I was chairman, we decided that Neyveli being a government company and it was our own ministry's company, we should give preference to Neyveli, and accordingly screening committee decided that block should be given to Neyveli. Right. After that decision was taken by the screening committee, Mr. Bidla met the Prime Minister and made a representation to him that it is an unfair decision because we were the first applicants. We have we fulfill all the criteria required for eligibility. We have a project in hand, and therefore this decision needs to be reconsidered. The papers were sent by PMO to me for re-examination. Mr. Bidla also met me and made the same representation that it is an unfair decision and it should be reconsidered. I found some merit in what Mr. Bidla said because they were definitely the first applicants, made application much before Neyveli Lignite made it. And by that time we had also decided that government companies can be given blocks outside the captive list also.
Right.
So I felt it that Hindalco should be accommodated in this block, and in the process, if Neyveli will have little less coal available, we will suitably compensate them by giving them another block outside the captive block list.
No, let me put it this way, sir, because that's an important point that you've now flagged off. And I want to get the sequence of events clear from you. Are you telling me, sir, that in the latter half of 2005, when Kumar Mangalam Birla came to you, he had already met the Prime Minister before that, and the Prime Minister's office officials had been in touch with you and they had been lobbying on behalf of Mr. Birla?
No. I won't say that anybody was lobbying, nor was any Prime Minister's office people in touch with me. I got his representations which were submitted to Prime Minister from the Prime Minister's office for re-examination and submission. And Mr. Birla also met me personally and made same representation.
Did he meet you earlier or did he meet the Prime Minister? Did he meet you first or did he meet the Prime Minister first?
I do not know whether he met the Prime Minister first or he simply made a representation. I am not aware of that, but he met me and I also got representations sent from the PM.
Okay, so you got a representation sent from the PM. Therefore, by that logic, sir, therefore, by that logic, if the CBI is holding you as a co-conspirator along with Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla, would it then be fair to say that the Prime Minister is also a co-conspirator in this supposedly dubious deal?
No, absolutely, because if there is a conspiracy, everybody involved in the decision is a conspirator. So Mr. Birla as an applicant, me as a person who process the application, and the Prime Minister as final decision maker, all of us are in conspiracy, and therefore all of us have equal responsibility, or maybe PM has more responsibility than anybody else because he could have overruled me, he could have rejected my recommendation if it was found to be wrong.
But why did the Prime Minister, sir, at any stage, as far as this Talabira 2 coal block is concerned, as far as this particular block is concerned, sir, did the Prime Minister at any stage influence you in any way? Was he the one who was asking you in some form through his officials to allot this block to Mr. Birla?
No, at no point of time in my stay in the coal ministry I was pressurized by any officer in the Prime Minister's office. all decisions which I took are entirely mine, and I take full responsibility for them.
Okay, now just a short while back, so you said that when Mr. Birla made this representation to you as well, that the decision to award this block to Neyveli was an unfair one, and you found some merit. Just for the benefit of our viewers, just want to set the record straight. In 1996, the Talabira 2 mine application was first made by Indal, which was the Indian subsidiary of Alcan, which happens to be a Canadian aluminium major. Indal was then acquired by Hindalco in the year 2000, after which Hindalco was pursuing the matter further. When you say, Mr. Parakh, that you found some merit in the representation which was made by Mr. Birla, may I ask you, sir, what was this merit that you found in the latter half of 2005, which forced you to overturn the decision which had been taken by the screening committee?
No, the representation was that because we were the first to make a request for this block, and we are in no way inferior in terms of competence, financial and technical, to Neyveli, and therefore why should Neyveli get preference over us?
Why then do you believe, Mr. Parakh, that your name has figured in this FIR which has been filed by the CBI? Are you the scapegoat for the CBI now, in a sense? Are you the scapegoat?
No, I do not know, because to my mind there is no case at all, and therefore I don't know why CBI chose to make a case out of it.
No, because you see, again, I'm telling you the information which we're getting from the CBI, sir. The CBI says that they have evidence to prove that you colluded with Mr. Birla to ensure that Mr. Birla's group company could have benefited. Are you outrightly denying this allegation?
No. I don't know in what manner I colluded with them. As Secretary to Government of India, it is my business to consider any representation which is made by any industry in respect of matters related to my ministry. So what is collusion about it?
But this point that you're now making, sir, that if you're a guilty person, or if you're a co-conspirator in this entire matter, then the Prime Minister should also be held responsible. You know, the opposition, for instance, Subramaniam Swamy and Yashwant Sinha of the world are now saying that Mr. Parakh should have made this point a lot earlier. Now that there is an FIR which has been filed against you, are you not simply using the Prime Minister's bogey to protect your own interests?
No. You see, the point is there is a time when you need to talk about, because what allegation would I make against Prime Minister unless there is a specific case? Now here CBI has made a case that in this particular case there is a conspiracy, and if there is a conspiracy, then conspiracies between all the actors in that conspiracy, is it not? So where was the case for me to make any allegation against Prime Minister earlier?
So just on the basis of just on the basis of the CBI FIR, would you then say that the Prime Minister, yes, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is the main conspirator in this case?
No, I won't say he's the main conspirator. All three of us who are supposed to be conspirators are conspirators.
Right.
But I would say that higher responsibility lies on the Prime Minister, because he finally took the decision. Prime Minister had the option of rejecting my recommendation. He could have overruled me, or he could have made any other order. So ultimately, it is finally his responsibility as Minister of Coal.
Let me just